offensive line was destroying people. And I know that the Packers have been banged up for the defensive line for the vast majority of the season, and that's one of the big things as to why they haven't had as much success as they had in the past. But when you see Jason Kelce, like, you would never know how old Jason Kelce. The guy still is able to pull out of the center position and get downfield in the blink of an eye. It's like 0 to 60 in no time at all. And you think about this. Yesterday, Jason Kelce played in his 170th game on the Eagles offensive line, passing Chuck Bednarik for all time on the Eagles list for most games played as an offensive line. 170 games. And when I saw him pull off the ball and block for Miles Sanders and make it downfield faster than anything, I'm just thinking, please never retire. You got at least 5 more good years in you. Please never retire. When I see Lane Johnson going down the field on that fumble by A.J. Brown, he didn't make the play. He hit his own guy, Jordan Mailata, but it got me thinking, that's a hell of a lot of athleticism from a big man like Lane Johnson busting it down the field and trying to make a play and help his team out. He didn't do it, but just to see the athleticism of him get to point A to point B, and unfortunately point B was Jordan Mailata. It wasn't the ball carrying, that's Walker, unfortunately, but just the athleticism is incredible. And Isaac Seumalo, for a guy that is playing next to the best right tackle in football in Lane Johnson, as Nick Sirianni will say every chance he gets, and a guy like Lane Johnson, not his best game, or excuse me, Landon Dickerson, not his best game yesterday, had a penalty, injury as well. You see Andre Dillard go in there to play left guard all of a sudden. What the hell? And then also, of course, you have Jordan Mailata just tearing people apart. You look at this offensive line, and there's just not a weak link. And not only is there not a weak link, these guys seem to only get better as time goes on. And that, of course, is a credit to Jeff Stoutland. And Jason Kelce said after the game yesterday that, he had a great time at Cincinnati, but the longest time he's ever spent at a university is Stoutland U. And Stoutland University has become a very popular place for Eagles offensive linemen to go and get educated and come out and throw bodies around. And that's what they did yesterday. And you can't ignore it, especially in a huge run game like this. And I know Jalen Hurts, there are a lot of broken plays out there, and there are a lot of scrambles involved, so you might not look at the offensive line and say, oh, well, obviously the offensive line was great. Look at the rushing gun. Bottom line is, you look at Miles Sanders running through gaping holes at the line of scrimmage, you credit your offensive line, and that's what he was able to do. He was able to shed some tackles as well to get the extra yards. He was able to carry the pile with him at a couple of different times. I was just blown away by what you saw from this O-line from start to finish. Let's get on the defensive line now. Linville Joseph, 30 snaps, 61%, and Ndamukong Suh, 18 snaps, 37%, up a little bit from what you saw last week, and rightfully so, a little bit more comfortable in the game plan, so that was nice to see. But both these guys still have a lot left to take. Hassan Reddick was able to come out with a big sack, as well as Brandon Graham combining for a sack coming out of the halftime there. And that was an interesting swing there because they were able to rush the ball down the field right before the half, get that back shoulder throw to Quez Watkins for the touchdown. And then because the Packers won the coin toss and deferred, they were getting the ball at the start of the second half. Eagles, with that combined sack from Graham and Reddick, were able to get the Packers off the football field with a 3-and-out to start things in that second half. So really could not have gone better. Then Brown got a touchdown for himself in that third quarter as well. That's where you're able to go up 34-20, and really you just felt fine and dandy from that point on. Other than the fact that they made it a little bit more of a game, like I said, than we were expecting. But all in all, just amazed by this Packers team, or excuse me, by this Eagles win over the Packers, and a 10-1 start for just the 5th time in franchise history. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles for the 10-1 start